Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all are doing well today. Thank you for joining us for Music Business Common Ground webinar series. Before I introduce today's host, I have just a couple of housekeeping notes. In order to communicate with one another during today's session, be sure to change your chat settings on Zoom to everyone. And we'll be taking some questions at the end of the presentation for our presenter. Be sure to enter those in the dedicated Q&A box on your Zoom dashboard. Our next webinar will be taking place in 2 weeks on April 7th, hosted by Verify Media. You can visit our website, musicbiz.org, for more information on that. Under the Education tab, you'll see our webinar section to register for that free session and others. And all steam is ahead right now for Music Biz 2022, taking place May 9th through the 12th at the JW Marriott, Nashville. Be sure to pay attention to our website, musicbiz.org and musicbiz2022.com for more information on that event. Our agenda is taking shape more and more every day. We have about 150 confirmed speakers that are listed on our interactive schedule right now, and rooms at the JW Marriott are moving fast. So the link again is musicbiz2022.com for our schedule, our registration information, lodging booking links, COVID-19 protocols, and much more. And now for the main event today, we're more than thrilled to welcome InnerCat Music Group to present today. And on behalf of the InnerCat team, we have Paris Cabezas, the managing partner at InnerCat. Paris, take it away.
Pleasure, thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you, Ms. Biz, for the opportunity. Let's carry it away.
Not just a smart link, the smartest link. The easiest and most direct way to connect with your audience. Grow an engaged fan base, one efficient click at a time. A powerful platform leveraging the technology and reach of both Google Cloud and Amazon AWS. Providing smart tools to improve your content's connectivity using keywords and SEO optimization, audience curation and optimization, and QR codes and ad metadata renderizer. A place where artists and labels can truly connect, analyze, and grow their audiences. An evolving platform that has no limits.
A little bit of a background of InnerCat. Some of you already know who we are, but I'll be brief about it. InnerCat was formed about 10 years ago, originally as a digital distribution company in the music space, and very soon evolved into a music-centric technology company, providing artist development and solutions, not just for artists, but record labels. The fact that InnerCat started as a distributor, rights management company as well, managing large clusters of YouTube channels, Vivo channels, and a lot of digital assets, it gave us a very special vantage point to understand the different voids in the process in the digital supply chain, not just in the aggregation process, but also capitalizing on the audience that most labels and even independent artists control. You can virtually capitalize on every step of the way, not just during releases, but with the overcrowded ecosystem. It's important to capitalize on audience, detect, segregate, curate, and convert, and keep converting. It's incredibly crowded out there. So Play and Follow was the result of that particular discovery. Everything, pretty much every building block on digital systems out there is interconnected, one with each other, whether they are Google Trends, translating across all the advertising networks in YouTube, whether it's SEO in the search network, the display network, the Google Ads network, the Meta Business Manager. So pretty much everything we touch is interconnected, and you can pick up the breadcrumbs of all that data across the digital ecosystem. Play and follow is not just a menu for destination links when we launch a pre-save or for releases that go live and whatnot. The intention behind the platform is a little bit more than that. Is a toolkit that groups a series of micro tools in a consolidated application. When you advertise music, it's rarely, very rare the case that you go to a single place to launch all the endpoints on campaigns for advertising. So normally you have to touch 4 or 5 different applications to set up, whether they're banners or bumper videos or micro images or render letterbox banners. So it's quite complex. And it is my duty to publicly thank this brilliant pioneers in the SmartLink ecosystem, Linkfire and Feature FM. They were brilliant in educating us and teaching us how to understand human behavior when they interact with digital content and music content. So using what we know, we created a system that is more of a journey. Every release is born usually with a pre-save, but it goes through an evolutionary process. The release at some point, it goes live, and the useful life of content these days is very, very short, and the attention span of users interacting with this digital content is very, very, very short. So every effort should be employed to try and capture and keep people coming back to your content. So the timeline that we designed on this application that we're about to show, it's basically that. You'll be able to insert different pieces of content across the way, and you'll be able to observe and capitalize on all the audience interacting with the link. A single link will evolve into an incredible journey. So Play and Follow, fundamentally, it's employing a series of direct connections to the DSP's APIs, the standard stuff, microservices. But the new addition is what we call instant gratification content across the way. So most of these links collect data at an incredibly granular level. And for that matter, and because we believe in data ownership, most of the building blocks are Google building blocks on the system in terms of analytics, in terms of the genomics modules. And by allowing labels and artists to plug in their own analytics objects, they'll be able to reuse this data, curate it, put it into buckets, determine who the high intent users are, who the super users, especially now in a cookieless environment where first party data is being implemented across the board. There is a little void that happens. In the past, we were able to go back and look at the cookies and check on intent, bounce backs, what users were doing. Everybody today is migrating to a cookieless environment, first party data. And there are a series of privacy laws that create this void for you. So we were able to bridge that by implementing site-wide tagging systems on pretty much every object, and using machine learning techniques. It really helps us determine the intent of the users and get past the cross-device issues and browser restrictions out there. So Uh, the two the two avenues that we envision this with is one is our enterprise kind of model, which is play and follow studio. It's designed for distributors, record labels that curate large audiences. They take care of the housekeeping for the artists they represent and whatnot. This particular module is more complex. It will allow you to do pretty much anything you would do when you are creating campaigns, launching campaigns for release, rendering the images. You could store high resolution banners that you can automatically conform based on the advertising format that you're going to follow and whatnot. So this particular play and follow studio for businesses or for record labels or distributors, it's the large version of it. Then we have play and follow for artists, is for independent artists and creators. Let's not forget that a large portion of the market share of recorded music is composed of fully independent artists. And sometimes these artists don't have the financial resources or the team to have a website designer, somebody that could create a consolidated space or a landing page for them where they could have their bio, ticket sales for concerts, all the DSPs with the profiles already registering that landing page. So this is more, this play and follow for artists is more for the independent artists that needs consolidated spaces to reinforce their presence online. One. So in general terms, play and follow allows you to do what most smart links do these days. They'll populate destinations, you'll be able to pre-save and whatnot. The difference here is in this journey between the pre-save and the final release, you will be able to insert instant gratification content. At the end of the presentation, we'll show you a case study that we recently did for the Mark Anthony release, the latest album. It came out really good, thank God for that. So you usually want to reward. I don't know how many of you remember when iTunes had this instant gratification deal that someone would publish an album. It had a release date down the line, but if you bought the album, you were able to download immediately a couple of tracks or one track or a video, whatnot. This mimics kind of the concept. So after the pre-save, the timeline, you can do a series of combinations. You could either reward the users that pre-save or register the emails with exclusive content that no one is ever going to see anywhere else but here. You can reward the users with a combination of special merchandise attached to the release. You can reward them with concert tickets. All these actions will get triggered the minute the user either registers the email address or completes the pre-save in one of the DSPs. So also, this allows you to segregate pre-save by territory or by bundles of geographic territories that you create. Sometimes the label or the distributor will have a deal with a DSP, a particular DSP. Not too long ago, we did something similar with AudioMac, where they said, we want to showcase your product at an editorial level, a homepage takeover. And in return, the distributor is able to fully brand the skin of the smart link. For the first 24 hours, the only link that will show up is the link of that particular DSP on a fully branded landing page. And then it'll automatically switch to the traditional look and feel with all the links in there. And this could be done, let's say you're doing something for Latin America. You want to give Claro Música in South America a special 24 hours of exclusivity. You don't have to worry about affecting the rest of the country or North American users or European users. You will only show that to a segregated number of countries and whatnot. So aside from the exclusive content and the ability to integrate Shopify modules for special merch or integrate ticketing systems to the process, to that particular journey, you also have the ability to automatically pick what ad formats you're going to run for that particular release, whether it's Meta, Facebook and Instagram ads, or if you're going to run WhatsApp ads or search and display ads, video bumper ads and whatnot. We have created a series of automatic rendering templates where having high resolution graphics and banners branding the release in a particular bucket, you are able to, the system will automatically render and give you a preview on how the ad will look like when you launch it. So in the works, we're hoping to finish this module before the product goes live, but it is my desire that you're able to sync your Google Ads account and your Meta Business Manager account in here so that you can, from here, launch the complete structure of the ad ready for review by either the Google team or the Meta team. It'll simplify things a lot, and you'll keep pretty much everything surrounding, all the activities surrounding the release in a single platform. Aside from generating QRs, you'll be able to share the link right from within the platform, issue pre-formatted links across the board. Well, one of the functions that I enjoyed a lot was the algorithmic rendering of keywords optimization. This actually didn't originate from the development of the Smart Link. This was thanks to Javier Contreras, a brilliant chief developer in our staff, and Jani as well. They came up with a very interesting concept. Everything in the scoring system of the search network display or in the YouTube network is sampled and tracked by Google Trends. So if you go to Google Trends and you pick what network you want to see, what's breaking out, what's trending and whatnot, you'll be able to see what keywords associated to a particular channel are really trending or working out and what the score is. So based on that, we were able to design an algorithm that reads the specific properties or a particular YouTube channel and traffic. We sample 30 days of traffic and intent, and based on that, we render the most, the highest scoring keywords associated with that. Having this not only allows labels and artists to optimize YouTube channels at that level, but also when you're launching search campaigns using the Smart Link, these are the keywords that are going to work best during the deployment of the campaign. So aside from the studio, there's a segment where you'll be able to keep artist profiles updated. You'll be able to get all the DSPs in check. You'll be able to have all the social medias for the artist, the bio, all the endpoints for the fans to visit rapidly. It is also our desire, this is probably going to come out in version 2, is right now in the works, that the system also allows you to brand artist channel banners, head banners across the board automatically right from within Play and Follow. This is all part of your graphics gallery. We're mapping the dimensions, and you'll be able to right from there authenticate, and whoever belongs to Spotify for Artists or is part of the team, you'll be able to push branded banners in anticipation to the release. So as I mentioned before, there are two ways of presenting analytics in Play and Follow. The easy one is the summarize level, which is by way of user interface. But the real nitty-gritty is by way of Google Analytics. Everyone using the software, we encourage them. We have developed a series of templates that we'll freely share with everyone that wants to use it. that allow you to track specific events. Everything in the page has been tagged, and through machine learning technique, it understands the recurrence of a particular user. And if a user keeps coming back and the user only interacts with YouTube and Spotify, and you can sample that behavior for a long period of time, there's no reason to keep serving that user with all the links if the only thing he interacts with is those DSPs. Stuff like that, you can make decisions on high intent users. You can determine the users that didn't take any action, they just landed, watched the video, but didn't subscribe or follow you across the board. So you're able to rebundle that. You can sync that audience container with your Google Ads Audience Manager and use it to retarget actions across the board. So it's a really powerful solution, and it's phenomenal in my opinion. So in the works, as I mentioned before, we have a generation of automatic banners based on a particular look and feel from the art gallery. Additional pre-save functionalities that will be adding that you can insert before the pre-save ends and the date the release goes live in the stores. You'll be able to, we're working on bringing more content that you can either designate as instant gratification content or content that you want the users to take across the board. Some of the things that, some of the things that a lot of people asked for was, well, is there a way, let's say we have a particular release and we have a particular product that is sponsoring the release, can we brand the link? I said, absolutely. So we can now use product placement branding across the board by either branding the skin of the release of the smart link, or you can actually do it by way of pop-up cards or letterboxes banners. So you're pretty much guaranteeing brands a high number of impressions that are incredibly competitive had they gone directly for inventory media buy. So it's very, very efficient. And even so, once the release is live and everything is said and done, you can come back and install pop-ups on prior links that redirect to the current release. So at all times, you create a synergy of traffic and keep capitalizing over and over on users either visiting a prior link or visiting a new link that didn't know or got never aware of a prior release. So the play and follow for artists is pretty much as I mentioned before. It gives the artist the ability of generating slick landing pages, and it'll give him the ability to put your booking emails, ticket sales, merch sales, grouping all the DSPs, showcasing specific releases. So you'll be able to do pretty much anything you want as an artist by auto-generating these landing pages. So in the works for phase 2, one of the most tedious, in my opinion, things to do when you're prepping a release or even after deployment is the pitching process. Every DSP has a different format. The one sheets are complicated to be created. Curators are overworked with the volume of releases every week, and especially independents and smaller labels, it's really, really hard to submit pitching forms with specific highlights of releases. And most of the time, DSPs want you to send at least calendar of releases so that they can start planning a placement, whether it's playlisting or whatnot. So in the works is the ability for you to pitch the release directly from the smart link. Again, using your graphics gallery to build the one sheet and provide curators with your calendar releases and your pitching forms in there. So we're hoping that this is going to streamline a little bit uh, the curation process of the releases. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, we recently took the exclusive content for a spin, and this was done with the first single of the Mark Anthony release. So during the pre-save, we launched micro campaigns in different territories, letting the fans know that as soon as they pre-saved or registered their emails for automatic inclusion, when the release goes live, they were going to get a piece of exclusive content. So Mark shot this incredible, it was a mini documentary kind of deal about the making of the album, about what he was about. He had been away for a while, so he decided to to give something to the fans, and it was very intimate, very exclusive, and it was incredibly successful. So this content was inserted, and it would get triggered the minute someone would hit pre-save, and the pre-save was successful. So it would happen. In the current music landscape, it's just incredibly difficult to capture someone's attention with just audio. It's almost inconceivable that someone releases a piece of work without visuals attached to it. So based on that, we decided to maximize the YouTube player in full screen and created overlays of the button on top of the video. So all these buttons retract, as you guys were able to see in the intro video, and they retract or get back to full length if you want to interact with them. And the reason we made them retractable is so that we are the least obstructive during the viewing experience of the video. So that was the logic behind that. Right? If you want to take it for a spin, we're anticipating to have this live on the third quarter of 2022. We'll be happy to give you guys 3 months of Play and Follow Studio for free. Take it for a spin. Tell us what you don't like, what you like. If you find any defects, by all means, I will be honored if you guys shoot us an email and tell us what doesn't work. All right. So up to a Q&A. If you guys have any questions, by the way, we're also we're going to be in Nashville during Music Biz. So pop up and say hello. I'd love to chat with you guys about this.
And as we round out here, look for folks to drop questions in the Q&A. Just want to once again extend a big thank you to InnerCat and Paris for your time today. Really interesting stuff. And I always say, if I can understand it in a presentation, then you all have done your job. So, and I certainly did. So thank you for, again, sharing your expertise and your time today. Folks, feel free again to drop any questions you have for Paris in the Q&A box on your dashboard. We'll stick around for a little bit for any other questions, and feel free to connect with one another as y'all have been in the chat as well.
William, okay, cost. We're still working on pricing models. It's going to be competitive. We, more than allocating heavy tiers of costs or anything to this, we want to see it work and flourish. So we'll let you know the minute we work our pricing models. We'll let you know. Yes, Patrick, commercial launch is Q3. That's correct.
take about another minute here before we wrap up. As Paris said, yes, Music Biz coming up very quickly, May 9th to the 12th at the JW Marriott Nashville. We're excited to welcome you there, both the others in the audience and the InnerCat team as well. Looks like we got another question coming in now.
Patrick, adding emotional metadata with track, yes. This is something that we have been discussing internally. It's not in the calendar yet, but it's probably going to be on the second iteration of the software. But the answer is yes. The link for the beta version. We'll see. Perhaps before the launch, we'll set up a link for beta. We have your emails. If that is the case, we'll send you notifications about it. Second is when. The second iteration of this is possible that it would be around January of next year.
Looks like we're starting to wind down on the questions here. Once again, want to thank Paris and InnerCat for your time today. Excellent presentation. Looking forward to seeing the Play and Follow product in action. And thank you all to everyone for your time today as well, for attending. Always a pleasure to have you all here for us with the Common Ground webinar series. Look forward to welcoming you to the next session in 2 weeks. And everyone take care in the meantime.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Henry.